It's the turn of the year and many of us have made a resolution to try and break into tech by learning how to code. It's February now and you've learnt your basic HTML, CSS and some JavaScript and you're looking to implement what you've learnt by building some sort of project. And now you're stuck. So you think, okay, that's fine. I know how to code. I just need to go back to some tutorials or YouTube videos to reinforce the things that I've learned, plus learn some new things as well. And then comes the end of that tutorial or video and you feel, okay, I've got somewhat more of a foundation now. I can definitely go do a project, but I'm not quite sure how to start it. Let me watch another YouTube video or tutorial on how to start a project to plug the little holes in my coding knowledge so that I'm able to start the project as best as possible. And then you finally even open up VS Code, you set up a project, a folder, name the project folder, but you're still not quite sure how to overcome this huge task and you start to feel doubt and you just don't know how you're going to overcome it, and back to tutorials and YouTube videos you go. If this sounds like something you're going through, I know exactly how it feels. It's something I like to call the self-learning haze. The self-learning haze, in my humble opinion, is a combination of a few things. 1, the inability to think like a developer. 2, being stuck in tutorial hell. And 3, your first bout with self-doubt, or as everyone else likes to call it, suffering from the imposter syndrome. I suffered from the exact same issues and I didn't even realize that I was facing these hurdles until I joined a bootcamp and I realized that I was missing 2 things. Number 1, the right mindset, and number 2, the ability to think like a developer. Let's throw it back a bit. Remember when the teacher said that they would pick 1 student to present their homework in front of the class? You'd start shifting and you'll see sweat particles start forming on your forehead and you'd get really nervous. And then when the teacher started looking in your direction, the nervousness would flare. The anxiousness you feel at the possibility that the teacher could pick you is caused by the amygdala hijack. The amygdala is an almond-shaped structure in your brain. It's what gives you your fight and flight reaction, and these heightened emotions are what cause the amygdala to hijack your functions. Now, in our scenario where there is a possibility that the teacher could ask you to present, your neocortex is telling you, relax, you've done the homework. Everyone else is a classmate. There's no difference between you and any of them. You'll be fine. But the amygdala and the neocortex are fighting, and the amygdala is winning. This also happens anytime we try to go outside of our comfort zone. Though it may not be as intense, it does happen. Now, in our instance, in our case, it's trying to code without the usual guiding hand. The first thing that I realized is that I need to start accepting that being outside of my comfort zone is going to be the new norm. We have to learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable and to embrace discomfort. By taking small and incremental steps outside of your comfort zone and stretching yourself, you'll realize that what you're comfortable with starts to increase. And then you go again. I would definitely recommend reading something about the importance of mindset and how to take charge of your amygdala. I'll leave some articles in the description below just so you can read some more. Computational thinking is broken down into 4 things: algorithm design, decomposition, pattern abstraction, and pattern recognition. Without going into the nitty-gritty of computational thinking, unless you'd like to read more, I'll happily leave a link in the description below. Computational thinking is about breaking bigger problems into smaller, digestible problems which are much easier to tackle. Changing the way you think into that of a developer, not a coder, a developer, is one of the most important things that you can do for your coding journey. Coder, developer, you ask, what's the difference? A coder is someone who understands syntax really well, but a developer is someone who can make a plan, break things down, and code effectively. You know what? Randomly, I just thought we're going to do an example of how to break things down. We're going completely off the script and I'm freestyling as we go. Imagine you're trying to do or build a to-do list app and it's your first time trying to do a project and your first time going at it, and you're good at HTML and CSS and you know some JavaScript, you know how to center a div. Not many people know how to do that, so congratulations to you. You set it up all nice, you've got an input field, you've got an add button, and you've got a section in where you want your inputs to go to be able to display. So you set it all up and now you need to start coding it. What do you do? What you need to do is break things down at such a high level that even a non-coder can read what your plan is and understand what it is you're trying to do. Let me give you an example. You have now constructed the to-do list because you've had a design on Figma or Draw.io or whatever you like to use, and you've constructed your to-do list on HTML and CSS. Now what you want to do is, because you don't know how to link a button to an input field and how to display it, you simply break it down. And this is how I would do it. And like I said, I don't have a job yet. I don't have a developer role as of yet. But the bootcamp really, the one that I went to, really push for thinking like a developer. How do I get the information in an input field? That's one. Two, how do I add, or rather, how do I link a button to an input field? Two. Three, how do I use that and display it on wherever I want to display? So these things, those 3 points that I mentioned, they're very easily Googleable. Googleable? Is that a word? We're going to go with it. Googleable. You can easily Google these things. So you may come across, once you start Googling these things, you realize that, yeah, I understand a lot of the JavaScript, for instance, but there's a few things that I'm missing. But I know that the thing that I'm missing is specific to what I need. So then you can start learning about the DOM manipulation, for instance, or whatever you need to learn along the way. And it's by Googling like this and having a really high level plan and going through it one by one, that's how you can find the right information that you need and be able to Google the right things. And I cannot tell you the leaps and bounds that you will take as a developer. As a developer, or someone that's trying to be a developer, you need to make sure that the time that you are spending learning is one of high quality. You don't want to be sitting just going around tutorials the whole day. What you want to do is that when you are making projects and coding, you want to be able to do it the right way so that you're learning at an accelerated pace. And that's the best thing that you can do for your coding journey. I completely went off the cuff there, but honestly, that's the best thing that you can do. I cannot tell you how much quicker you start to learn and how much quicker you start to develop as a developer. It's about that mindset, knowing that you're going to be, throwing yourself to something completely new and you're completely uncomfortable here. But once you can accept that and understand that this is part of my learning process, and also thinking like a developer, making sure that you break things down at a really high level and then working with that plan, you will start to see yourself accelerate at paces you'd never think you could go. From my limited and honestly very mesquite experience, I really feel like these were the two things that I was missing when I was trying to learn by myself. Stepping out of your comfort zone is a personal choice. You are choosing to step out your comfort zone because learning how to code is far from easy. Many of you have got children. Many of you have got financial responsibilities and other responsibilities, and some of you are even dealing with all of the above. So when you're learning how to code, when you're spending your 1, 2, 3 hours, how much time you're putting in, you want to make sure that the time that you're spending is being used in the best way possible. So embrace discomfort and apply computational thinking. Shall I be honest with you? This advice, it's not revolutionary. And it may not even change your coding journey. I'm just putting out there what I wish I had known at the start of my self-learning journey. That's it from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If it's your first time here, why not consider subscribing? This is Code with Mohammed, and I'll see you guys next time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.